The cold evening wind blew through the busy streets as people hurried past, ignoring the old man sitting on the sidewalk. His clothes were tattered, his boots worn out, and his hands trembled as he held a small cardboard sign, "Udadas, veteran. Hungry. Anything helps." Some people glanced at him with pity, but most just walked by. Then, a man in a tailored suit stopped and smirked. "Look at this," he scoffed, nudging his friend. "Another lazy bum expecting handouts." The veteran looked up, his tired eyes filled with quiet dignity. "Sir, I serve this country." The rich man cut him off with a laugh. "Served? And now what? Begging?" His voice dripped with mockery. A few passers-by paused to watch. The veteran lowered his head, gripping his sign tighter. "I don't want pity. Just a little help." The rich man sneered. "Get a job like the rest of us." Just then, the crowd shifted. The air grew tense as slow, steady footsteps echoed toward them. A deep voice cut through the silence. "That's enough." The rich man turned, and his face drained of color as he came face to face with Clint Eastwood. Clint's eyes, sharp as ever, locked onto the rich man. "You think mocking a veteran makes you a big man?" The rich man let out a nervous chuckle. "Sir, I was just..." Clint stepped closer, his voice low but firm. "Just what?" "Kicking a man when he's down." The crowd grew larger, people whispering as they recognized Clint. The veteran sat frozen, unable to believe what was happening. The rich man scoffed, trying to regain control. "Look, I work hard for my money. Why should I give it to someone who didn't plan for their future?" Clint's expression darkened. "You ever serve?" The rich man hesitated. "No, but..." Clint cut him off. "Then don't talk about things you don't understand." He turned to the veteran and crouched down, his voice softer. "What's your name, soldier?" The old man's eyes welled up. "Frank, sir. U.S. Army. Served 22 years. Clint nodded. "You've earned more respect than half the people on this street." The crowd murmured in agreement. The rich man shifted uncomfortably, but Clint wasn't done yet. Clint reached into his pocket and pulled out a thick stack of bills. Without hesitation, he placed it in Frank's trembling hands. "This is for you." The veteran's lip quivered. "Sir, I can't take this." Clint smirked. "You can. And you will." The crowd gasped. The rich man's jaw dropped. Frank's hands shook as he clutched the money. "God bless you." Clint patted his shoulder. "You deserve better." A young woman in the crowd suddenly spoke up. "I have a small diner nearby. Frank, if you ever need a hot meal, it's on the house." A man in a business suit stepped forward. "I run a security company. If you're looking for work, I'd be honored to hire a veteran." Frank looked around, overwhelmed. Moments ago, he had been invisible. Now, people were stepping up. The rich man, embarrassed, tried to slip away, but Clint wasn't finished. Clint turned back to him. "Leaving so soon?" The rich man stopped, face red with shame. I didn't mean any harm." Clint nodded. "Then make it right." The rich man hesitated, then sighed and reached into his own wallet. He pulled out a few $100 bills and handed them to Frank. "Here. I'm sorry." Frank took the money, his voice barely a whisper. "Thank you." Clint's gaze softened slightly. "Took you long enough." The rich man nodded and walked away, his shoulders slumped. The crowd remained silent, absorbing what had just happened. Frank looked up at Clint. "Why did you do this for me?" Clint smiled faintly. "Because no soldier should be forgotten." But he wasn't done yet. Clint pulled out a card and pressed it into Frank's hand. "That's my number. If you ever need anything, you call." Frank clutched it like a lifeline. I won't forget this. Clint stood up, tipping his hat. Good. As he walked away, the crowd slowly began to disperse, some wiping their eyes. Frank sat there, stunned, as people continued dropping money into his cup. His world had changed in just minutes. A young boy tugged at his mother's sleeve. Mom, can we help too? The mother smiled. Yes, sweetheart. We can. As Clint disappeared into the distance, one thing was clear: one act of kindness could change everything.